We'll flag down Tommy DeAngelis. Tommy's ready to go. Come on over. And we'll get started. What's going on?
B, how are you, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Listen, before we get started,
oh boy,
I got to do something.
Uh-oh.
I told my mom I'd tell her hello, so.
Well, you're allowed to do
hello,
that.
Mother, I love you.
You'd have been in trouble if you'd have forgotten that one.
No kidding.
We can't do that. It's great to see you.
You too, man. You too.
Hard to believe that we're already in early May, and the season has kind of flown by in some aspects, and in the other side of the coin, you've played so well that it kind of feels like it's been going for a while because you guys have some good mojo going. I realize this was a kind of a frustrating weekend, but take me back first to last Tuesday. You've had this game against Akron canceled and rescheduled a couple of different times. Finally got it together, and to go down and beat a Division I opponent. I know it's a newer program down there, but to beat a Division I opponent 17-2 had to feel pretty validating for everything that you guys have been doing the last few years here.
Yeah, it was rewarding. We played a couple of Division I teams the last couple of years. 2020, we played Butler University in Florida, and we ended up knocking them out too. Baseball's baseball. You know it. You've played it. You know it. Anyone can beat anyone. It's just whoever's playing best on that day. But it was cool for our guys. I know they really enjoyed it. They were looking forward to it. But every game's a big game,
especially this time of year, because it feels like all these games have that much more meaning. You had a chance to play some, not just Marietta, right, who's right now the number one team in the country, but some teams that have some attention regionally. You played Denison, and I know you had a good win over Allegheny this week. Give us an idea at where you thought you would be this time of year when you're in the preseason, right? You're trying to project where you think your team is capable of being. I know you guys have had a lot of success the last few years, but every team's a little different. How pleased are you with the development of this team throughout the course of the season?
It's a good question. I think this is kind of where we strive to be every year, where we expect to be. I think we've been in the top 25 7 of the last 9 years. So we try to play our best baseball towards the end of the year. We know while we're preparing year-round, we want to be playing big games at the end of the year that matter, and our guys are ready for them, I think. This weekend was a good test. We didn't play our best baseball, but we're going to keep working. We're going to get back in the cages, and we're going to keep working for it.
First game against Marietta, it feels like the score was almost an anomaly because it was just one bad inning. When you're in the dugout and sometimes either things go really well or really poorly in one inning, how do you try to level out the temperature where you don't get too high or too low based on maybe some crazy things that happen?
Yeah, Coach Harrison talks about it a lot. Just control what you can control. Next pitch, that inning's over. Let's try to win this inning, and then we'll try to stack and win the next inning. And that's just kind of how we approach it. So we could be up 10-0 in the second. We could be down 10-0 in the second. It's the next inning. Win the next one.
But in terms of defining moments for the season, I mean, obviously you're coming down the stretch and you want to be playing your best baseball going into this final weekend of the regular season with John Carroll poised to make a run through the OAC tournament and hopefully beyond that. But as you think about moments throughout the course of the season where you saw the team and thought, hey, they're getting it. You know, that thing we've been working on in practice or those conversations we've been having, like, that's not a problem anymore. We saw that manifest itself. What were those turning points in the season?
Yeah, I think I wouldn't even say during the season. I think it might have happened in the preseason for us. I think last year left a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. I mean, we had an okay season, but it wasn't up to our standard and what our guys think we should be doing. So they were invested, man. They put in a lot of work, man. Our off season, they put in a lot of work. They were ready to go. I think starting the season the way we started, 12-0 in Florida and Indianapolis and at home, I think that's when guys really started to believe that all the hard work and the way we were going to do things was paying off. And I think that was the turning moment. I think that's when you really saw, hey, we can do this. We're a top program. We're back to where we need to be. And I think they started trusting themselves.
Jackets are 28-9, getting ready for the final two games of the regular season with John Carroll at home. And then we'll see what happens with the OAC tournament. It certainly looks like you're going to be a part of that tournament. And, you never take that for granted. But the reality is you've been a part of that tournament now most years, looking back during your tenure. I'm curious if you can try to stack up this team compared to some of the others that you've had. I know that's a tough question, but where does this team fit sort of in, not necessarily a pecking order, but maybe a better question would be, since you haven't played that tournament yet, what are the characteristics of this team that remind you of some of the ones you've had in recent past that have made good runs?
Yeah, I think think every team's different, man. I think our story's not done. I think we still have the opportunity to write that. If you ask what does this team remind me of, I'd say the 2018 team. This is eerily similar to going into last weekend against John Carroll. We had to win one that weekend to make the tournament, and then we made a pretty strong run that year, making it to a regional semifinals. I think that team was very offensive with some good arms and played solid defense and played really hard and played for each other with a lot of seniors. And I think this team's very similar.
Won the OAC tournament that year against Otterbein, and we'll see if fortunes are similar here in 2022. I want to ask you about Coach Harrison because we haven't had a chance to visit with him, or at least I haven't on these shows. I know a couple of other folks have hosted him. You guys have something really good going on, and I think there's and it's obvious, right? There's the chemistry on your staff that I think is it's so obvious why you guys are successful, because it really feels like as a staff you're pulling the rope in the same direction, and your players sense that, and everybody buys in. What is special about your opportunity here to work with Coach Harrison and to be part of this program?
Yeah, I'm forever indebted to him. That's my best friend, man. He means the world to me. Working for him, he's the best boss in the world. Lets me do my thing. He kind of gives me a lot of opportunities to take things under my wing, and I learn every single day. I've been with him for 9 years now, and I'm learning every day something new from him. I think something that speaks to Coach Harrison and the culture he's created is we got, I think, 5 former alums in our tenure that are still on our coaching staff. They don't get paid a cent. They're just volunteers, and they love being around the program so much. And I think that speaks a lot to kind of what he's created. I think our success isn't – it's for a reason. It's because of him. He's the man.
Did you drink coffee before you met Coach Harrison?
You know what? I'll tell you what, Art. No, I did not. But what we did do is when I first came up here 9 years ago to meet him, we went to Maya and we ate chips and salsa for about 2 hours. And that's when I knew we were going to fit together pretty good.
I don't know anybody that drinks more coffee than Coach Harrison does. That's not a bad thing. I love it, though.
We got a pot in the dugout. We're one of the few baseball teams that keeps a coffee pot in the dugout, and you're welcome to have some, dude.
I love that. Love that. What is most exciting for you this time of year when it's, it gets to the point, you've got a couple more games. I don't want to say they don't have meaning. They're rivalry games, but your season's not over based on how things go on Saturday. But now we're getting to that point where it's like, hey, we got to win if we want to keep playing. Whether it was your time as a player or your time coaching, what most revs you up about this time of year?
It's a good question. You say rivalry game, and I got to be honest. Steve asked me to be on the show tonight, and I was like, yeah, I'm in. I was excited to do it, and then I thought about it, and I was like, wait, I know where Brendan went to college. So talking about a rivalry game, what colors are you going to be wearing Friday, B?
I'll wear brown and gold on Friday. I'll do it. I got you.
My man. My man. Now, I think end of the year, it's always fun to see. Something that goes through my mind is the seniors and this group, they'll never be together again. So if this season ends this weekend, that's the last time this collective group will be together. I think the most fun is just playing for each other and trying to make this run go as long as you can. Play with your brothers for as long as you can. I think that's the most important thing at this time of the year.
It'll be a ton of fun to see how long you guys can maybe extend this thing.
Yeah.
How much do you talk about championship aspirations or expectations? Because you guys have obviously been in the NCAA tournament, in meaningful games, in conference play. I know you set goals as a program, but is it one of those things where, hey, everybody knows it's no secret what we're trying to accomplish, let's just go work toward it? Or do you literally verbalize it to try to manifest it?
Yeah, I think say the first time we verbalize it, and really the only time is in the recruiting process. When we first start talking to guys, this is the expectation. I think we're very transparent about what we want to do, how we're going to approach it, and our end goals. And then once you get here, I think it's just the culture of everyone working in the same direction. We don't talk about it a whole lot. We're just trying to work really hard and get better each day, and then I think in the end we're going to try to win some more rings. But we don't overly verbalize it a whole lot, to be honest. I'm sure the guys, when they're sitting in the dorm room or the baseball house, they're talking about it. But
sure.
I think it's just the expectation.
How about the quality of competition across the league this year?
Yeah.
Obviously Marietta's as good as anybody in the country right now. Maybe Heidelberg's having a little bit of a down year by their own standards, but Otterbeин's still good, Mount Union's still good, John Carroll's still got a good team. When you think about the conference as a whole in recent years compared to where it is now, is this a good year for the league in your mind?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think if you look in the regional rankings, the first rankings came out last week. There's 8 teams in it. 4 of them are OAC teams.
Sure.
So in the regional rankings is a bunch of different leagues, and we got half of them in our league. So I think that speaks to the strength of our conference.
What do you hope your guys learn from a disappointing loss to Marietta last weekend?
It's a good question, man. I think Coach says it all the time. You either win or you learn. And I think if you followed our year and you kind of see what we've done in most games, we've been hot with the bats for the majority of the year. I think we're the number 1 offensive team in the country in most statistical categories. And this weekend that wasn't there. But what we did do is we pitched and we played pretty dang good defense. So I think going forward, I think our team, if they can learn that we can do all 3 facets of the game, I think we're going to have a pretty good run here.
Glad you brought up some of the offensive categories because it really has been wild to watch this team. I know you've already broken the single-season home run record as a team this year, and really, it's not just one guy that seems to hit the ball out of the ballpark all the time. Luke, obviously, with 14 home runs, but Ludwig's got 8. Drew and Vince at 5. I mean, you've got a couple guys with 6 and 7. When did you think that this team had that kind of power capability that you guys could really, knock some teams out that way?
Yeah, it's every team's different. I mean, we could really hit last year, I think, but maybe not as many balls out of the park, a lot of doubles. And then we worked really hard. I mean, in the weight room, I mean, these guys were very invested. It's one of the words Coach Harrison's used to describe our program is invested. And the other one is grateful. I think these guys are very grateful for our opportunity to get out there and compete for a full season, which they haven't had in 2 years. So they crushed the weight room year-round. They crushed the batting cage. They got after it. You don't know that you're going to hit that amount of home runs until you get out there and actually do it. Home runs are kind of a byproduct of what you do. We're just trying to hit line drives, hit strikes hard, and we got a lot of home runs from it.
You guys have played 37 games, and as a team, you're slugging .579.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there's a question there. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, it's you don't see that.
We have
special.
We have some really good players, man, and they work really hard and they earn it. These guys have earned everything they've given. I think you're led by your seniors. I think Alex Ludwig and Drew Wilson and Bijan Kamalapur, I think what they've done in the offseason leading these guys and showing the time commitment it takes to be invested in what we're doing, I think it's set an incredible example. And I think a lot of the younger guys are following in their footsteps with that work ethic.
How much do you feel that that offensive success has allowed the pitching staff to relax? Because they've had a good year.
Yeah.
But, man, if you know your offense is going to go out there and score what feels like 9 runs a game, you got a little wiggle room to maybe not be quite as sharp every day. Has that helped, you think, the pitching staff grow this year?
Yeah, I think we're pitching the best we have right now at the best time of the year. I think we've grown. We've kind of, like I said, learned a lot on the mound over the year. I think where we're at now on the mound, we're starting to figure out our identity, and we're really starting to do what we want to do. And I think pitching with the lead a lot of times is very helpful. We talk about a lot about putting up a 0 after we score, and if they score, let's answer back. It's not a pitching staff and a offense; it's a whole team, and we try to approach it like that.
A couple more things here with Tom DeAngelis from our baseball team. How about on the recruiting side? You mentioned recruiting just a couple minutes ago. Give us an idea of 2023, what we're looking at, guys that you're excited about that have committed, and what the future of the program looks like.
Yeah, I think we like the class we have coming in. We addressed some of our needs. I think a big need for us is left-handed pitching. Right now I think we have 2 left-handed pitchers that have logged innings for us, so we've addressed that need. And then we've tried to address we're losing Alex Ludwig, so we know we want to try to get a guy to replace a 5-year shortstop. And then we just wanted the best baseball players from the best families that are great kids that will fit in with what we're doing and row in the same direction. I'm excited about the upcoming class and excited about the guys that are coming back that are on our roster too.
How about just the quality of prep baseball right now in Northeast Ohio? And I feel like there have been, some peaks and valleys with it. You've seen some years where there are a lot of really good prospects coming out of high school baseball here, and then maybe some years where it's solid across the board. Give us an idea at this year's group of juniors and seniors that you've recruited and watched play some high school ball and the quality of competition you've seen.
Yeah, I think it's pretty standard, to be honest. I wouldn't say it's better than it's ever been, worse than it's ever been. I think it's right where it's at. I think you have your top-end teams, and then I think you'll have some middle-of-the-lineup teams and then some lower-level teams. Northeast Ohio baseball is pretty strong, and I think that's a big reason why we're pretty successful. We just pick from there a lot.
Last question I want to ask you is just about the facility and the fact that, Fisher Field's undergone a few changes here in the last couple of years. I think it's one of the best facilities in Northeast Ohio. I know you guys are constantly fighting Mother Nature, which you have no control over, but in the best position to have some control over it with a great field. As you have sort of seen the facility evolve and sort of your ability to train inside evolve over time, how pleased are you with that part of what you can push in a recruiting perspective of like, hey, guys, I know you want a real, legit, good college baseball experience. Look what we play on. Look what we have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think first off, this spring has been, in my 9 years here and then my 6 years in my last place playing and coaching, this has been the worst spring we've had.
It's been pretty well.
I know you're a golfer. I'm sure you haven't been able to get out much.
Haven't played once.
Me neither. Me neither. But we've been fortunate. We've played all of our home games. We haven't lost any home games. And our facilities are top-notch. I mean, we have everything you need to reach the pinnacle of your ability. From our weight room to our strength and conditioning programs to our indoor facilities to our machines to our technology to our field, which everybody sees. It's incredible. And the thing is, we're getting better each year. Our facility is going to keep growing. We just changed our backstop from a full fence to a nice net now. Hopefully we can get a press box rolling here pretty soon. So it keeps getting better. When I first got here in 2015, we had an all dirt field with no cage, and we were out there raking and pulling tarp, and my job's gotten a lot easier. I know that much.
It has.
Yeah.
I bet it has. Hey, let's ask one more thing here before we go, and it's off the field stuff. We've had a chance to visit with lots of student athletes here over the course of the couple semesters. We've done this on Monday nights, and a lot of them have talked about their academic pursuits, internships, things that brought them to BW beyond just, hey, I really want to be a basketball player, or I can't wait to wrestle here for Coach Gibbs. What are some of the conversations like with recruits around the academic side with you? Because I know you're so involved on the recruiting side. Do you get the same kinds of questions from prospective athletes?
Yeah, I think when we start talking academics, I think that's a really easy conversation for us. You can do whatever you want to do here. If you want to be a doctor, you can be a doctor. You want to be an engineer, you can be anything. I think where we found the most success, and I don't know if it's who we attract or what, we have a lot of business majors, a lot of sport management majors, and then we have a lot of guys that go into something in the sciences, whether that be biology, chemistry, physics, and try to go be a doctor. The internships our guys get is something that we spend a lot of time talking to recruits about. Our guys in the business field get great internships in downtown Cleveland. Our sport management majors, I'm sure you're aware, they go and they work Super Bowls, they work the Final Fours, they get to do everything. So
pretty awesome.
BW gives you every opportunity to do whatever you want to do, and that's what we talk to recruits about a lot.
Pretty easy to sell. Good academics, good campus, good
and
program, good people.
Coach
Harry,
Harrison.
I love it. Congratulations on a great season so far, but not too early even a congratulations, because I know you got some big games you're looking forward to.
Story's not done.
That's right. Thanks for spending some time with us.
All right. See you in brown and gold this weekend. All right, man?
I will. I'll be looking forward to it.
Bye, Mom.
There it is. The Bye Mom. Love it. Tom DeAngelis from our baseball team. The Yellow Jackets have had a terrific season and really excited to see how things are going to go for them moving forward.